Hey yo, what is up, Trovians? It's Italian, the gimme a ramen noodles guy. Yum yum yum. Alright, we finally have something here. Now, the PTS was just updated today, and let's take a look at it here, shall we? Introducing Gear Update, now live on PTS. Exciting information. With Gear Update, we wanted to give our players more control over their equipment drops and gear progression. So now we're in total control. Gotcha. While leveling in Trove, players experience several shifts with how to progress their character's power. And we're going to turn into Superman. Just better be careful of that kryptonite because, man. Our intent with this change was to smooth out the equipment progression so players have a way to continue their progression while also allowing players to finally acquire Crystal 5 equipment. Rewind, play the tape back. So looks like they're revealing Crystal 5. So that's been in the game code for a while now. So it's actually not surprising, but it's I guess it's good that it's going to be here now. Crystal 5. Crystal 5 equipment is now available in Trove. Crystal 5 gear can drop naturally the same way as Crystal 4, although at a much slower rate. So it sounds like Crystal 5 could probably be dropped from U11 or maybe when U12 comes out, but at a slower rate. I'm also curious if the C4 method will work on C5. Maybe not. I mean, it would be crazy if it actually did work, but I guess we'll find out. So, Crystal 5 gear can also be acquired through gear crafting and Gear Crafter's Vault. Sounds like new professions, if you ask me. Man, at this rate, we're going to be professionals at everything. Time to get a high pay. Gear crafting. Oh, well, it actually is a new profession. I mean, the name kind of suggested it, but yeah, so gear crafting is a profession allowing Trovians a new method of acquiring equipment for their many classes. Just a fair warning, I'm probably gonna end up botching this guy's name up. Not on purpose, obviously. Guillermo Armada. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. Can now be found in the hub. So they're adding more stuff to the hub. Can't wait to see what this looks like because as I said in a previous video, the hub is already congested and overfilled. Look for their giant gear in the character corner. He and his forge are ready to help Trovians get started as a gear crafter. For some reason, when I read this, I keep getting Gears of War vibes. I don't know why. Probably because this whole update revolves around gears and moving parts and stuff like that. So PTS, which is public test server, in the coming days, a gear crafting expertise thread will be added, given more specific guidance and steps for gear crafting. Okay. The gear crafting forge, I'm assuming that was one of the benches that was shown in that little teaser they posted, contains 6 tiers of recipes allowing players to craft the full range of equipment from uncommon green up through crystal. First of all, why would you want to craft all of the uncommon equipment? You want to get the highest equipment. You want to get Crystal 4, Crystal 5, even Crystal 3. But why would you want to craft the lower tier equipment? It doesn't make any sense to me, but if that's what we're rolling with, then that's what we're rolling with, Trove. With the exception of the final crystal tier, each 50-point gear crafting tier will grant a range of equipment rarity depending on the power of the active class. Okay, so at least the bench is following the same formula every 50 levels, so I guess that's a plus for that aspect at least. The power rank threshold correspond with the power rank requirements on the atlas, allowing access to more difficult worlds. So basically what that means is your power rank is going to be updated with the Atlas, so that's going to give you more access to better worlds. Okay. For example, the first tier will depend on power rank. Always gives uncommon, rare, or epic equipment with a rare chance to craft a legendary equipment instead. I'm not actually following, but it sounds like when you craft something, it will give you a chance to get more of something else. The next tier allows legendary and resplendent equipment to drop with a rare chance to drop shadow equipment instead. I mean, that could be good for farmers, I guess. Maybe. If it means that you can drop more stuff for more flux, I guess that will be good for farmers in the long run. The next tiers craft Shadow, Radiant, or Stellar between 1 and 5. The Crystal tier contains recipes up to Crystal 4, which can rarely give players Crystal 5 equipment. Okay, so I guess when you're crafting in the Crystal tier, you have a chance to drop Crystal 5 equipment. That's definitely new, but we know rare means rare, and in Trove's case, well, rare is rare. For access to crystal equipment higher than Crystal 1, Trovians must make use of the Gear Crafter's Terminus. See the Gear Crafter's Terminus section for more details. Crafting equipment takes many old materials such as flux, ores, and other gathered materials. Aw, we don't get to do it for free. Just one freebie, Trove. Along with some other new materials, molds and block elements. Okay, when I hear molds, I think of, you know how like when you go to the, like when you get a grill, I know they do molding, so they show you what your teeth look like. But when I also think of block elements, I kind of think of like fire and electric, and I don't know. It's just my weird brain, I guess. Anyways, block elements are obtained by loot collecting equipment found while out adventuring. So probably when you're doing dungeons, when you're over there slaying those enemies, showing those enemies who the real boss is. Molds are specific to each equipment. Hats, faces, and each weapon are individual molds. So like I said before, it's just like the concept with the teeth molds. They just take a mold of your equipment, I guess, and that's how they do it from there. Mold can be obtained by loot collecting 3-star or higher equipment. Okay. Or it can be purchased from, here we go again, Guillermo. Okay, maybe I did better that time. Not sure, but Pure Forge molds used to craft crystal equipment are valuable in limited amounts from Guillermo on PTS, or can be found rarely from the Gear Crafter's Vault. Still don't know what a Gear Crafter's Vault is, but if I had to take a guess, it's probably like Builder's Vault and stuff like that comes from Geode. Tempered block elements are required for crafting Crystal 4 equipment. So do these blocks have tempers on them? Why are they called temper? If they have a temper, then, well, I mean, they must be angry for something. Or upgrading Crystal 5 equipment. These can be rarely obtained from the Gear Crafter's Vault or when crafting any recipe on the Gear Crafting Forge. When players craft equipment or obtain it from the Gear Crafter's Vault, it will have stats appropriate to the current class. For example, no energy regen for classes that don't use energy. Okay, that's pretty decent. It basically means you won't have to reroll stats. I mean, I know that can be annoying, waiting for a reroll week and having to waste your materials to reroll stats. So I guess that's good that it'll drop according to your class. It's good in theory, but we'll see what happens. When unlocked, the Crystal 4 gear crafting recipes can rarely award Crystal 5. So even the recipes can give Crystal 5. Okay. Crafted equipment is always 1-star, with no applied pearls and with stats appropriate to the current class. If consumed before crafting, Forge Enhancer potions found on the More tab of the store will increase the power of equipment crafted during its duration, causing it to be created with 2 stars instead of 1 and with upgraded pearl stats. Okay, that's not too bad actually. So if you get lucky when you have these forge enhancer potions and you get lucky, you could end up crafting gear with pearls and stuff already have it. So that means you don't have to, theoretically that means you don't have to put as much into the gear. Gear Crafter's Terminus, the master control system. Once 250 gear crafting skill has been acquired, Trovians can make use of the Gear Crafter's Terminus to unlock Crystal 2, 3, and 4 equipment. What that basically means is once you beat the bench or complete the bench fully, you'll be able to unlock these types of equipment. Now it's strange because the previous to this being released, you weren't able to craft this type of stuff. The only one you were actually able to craft was Crystal 1, and even then you were limited to what you could craft. I believe it was only a weapon. It wasn't a face and a hat. So, I mean, I guess once you complete that bench, it's going to be a plus for getting gear. Just hopefully it doesn't cost a lot of raw materials to be able to do this. Additional upgrades can be purchased, allowing players to increase their ability to acquire Gear Crafter's Vaults in a variety of ways. The first time a major node is unlocked or a minor node is upgrading will grant some Gear Crafter's Vault along with keys and whoa. When I saw node and major node and minor node, the first thing I thought was star charts. I hope it's not. I hope this isn't another star chart situation, but if it is, I guess we'll just do it anyway. But the star chart, I remember, costed a lot of qubits. I mean, when it first came out, at the time I had 700,000 qubits, and I was able to get most of it completed. But I know if I didn't have those qubits, it would have took a long time. I still probably wouldn't have been able to finish it. It's basically just a qubit sink. I feel like they don't want us to really have qubits. Gearcrafter's Vault. The Gearcrafter's Vault can sometimes be obtained when completing any gear crafting recipe at the Gear Crafting Forge, and otherwise can rarely be found in Uber 1 or higher chests. The chance for this drop and the amount of vaults received both scale with the world's Uber rank at Uber 9. At least one Gear Crafter vault will drop for each dungeon. So what that basically means is the higher Uber you are, theoretically means you should be able to drop more per dungeon. The Gear Crafter's Vault contains items required by gear crafting recipes and will contain a piece of equipment on all rare, lucky results in addition to a large amount, a little typo there, Trove, of block elements. The equipment is always at least 2 stars and can sometimes have upgraded pearl stats. This equipment scales based on the power rank of the current class, and like gear crafting recipes, will not give stats which the current class cannot use. Crystal 5 can be rarely awarded if opened by a Trovian with more than 45k power rank. So basically, if you're more than 45k power rank, you can quote unquote rarely get Crystal 5 gear. A Gear Crafter's Vault key sold by Glamado Amado will guarantee a rare result. Vault magnet potions sold on the More tab in the store increase the drop rate of the Gear Crafter's Vault from dungeons. When I heard Vault magnet potions, I kind of pictured a magnet against a potion just hanging in the sky. Very rarely tradable unlockers for new gear crafting themed collections can be found within the Gear Crafter's Vault. So it sounds like there could be new decorations. I mean, giant cogs and giant wheels. I know a few people that would love that. Not gonna say any names, but I know one person that would love giant cog wheels and steampunk decorations. Anyways, all these ones down here are just styles. They're not really important. I mean, they will be for mastery, but that's about it. Additional updates. Crystal weapons can no longer be crafted at the Sunseeker's Crystal Vault. So, okay, so the little forge you see when you go into topside, you will not be able to craft crystal weapons there anymore, unfortunately. Low tier equipment now collects for slightly more flux. So it looks like they're balancing the lower equipment's flux gain. So that's good for that's good for players that don't have high magic find, I guess. It means they can get more value when they loot collect stuff for farming. The forge can no longer be used to upgrade some tiers of equipment into a tier higher. Viridium, nitroglycerine, iridium ore, and emberslack can now sometimes be found inside Miner's Trove. Ha! I saw that typo. You can't fool me. Faces, hats, and weapons can now be found in Radiant 2 Plus and Stellar 2 Plus tiers. Added a flask seller merchant to the hub who sells the flasks and emblems otherwise found in the More tab of the store, and looks like they're adding more NPCs to the hub. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, I know a few years ago when they released Reeling in the Stars, they moved a lot of the emblems that was on the towboat, I believe. I forget where they moved them, but I know they moved them. Some of the merchants from the hub have found their way into the market fixtures and clubs. Oh no. These merchants will only appear on fixtures placed or upgraded after this update. I'm not even gonna say the names of them. So it was bad. It wasn't enough that they just had to put it in the hub and make the hub more congested and filled up. Now they want to put them in club worlds. Ay ay ay. I have to say something. If you're a club leader or a club owner, or if you're in a club, or if you own a club and you care about fixtures, do not get this fixture. I mean, if you want to have the convenience of having clutter and little NPCs in your hub club, then sure. But if you care about stats and buffs and stuff like that, do not waste a slot on these, because when you do that, you're gonna miss out on something that's even better than this. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Someone in the drawing board thought this was an amazing idea. I don't know why. I mean, more power to them, I suppose. But if you, like I said, if you want, you can do this. But I would highly advise against it, because, like I said, you'll lose benefits, and it's just not worth it. Fixed an issue that could cause iguana enemies from freezing during their idle animations. Okay, that's been in the game for as long as I remember. I think ever since Delves was introduced. So I guess it's good that they fixed that. No more freezing iguanas, so yeah. Titles that track metrics should now update in real time for other players. So yeah, that was the new update, or at least part of the new update. Now I'm pretty sure they're gonna add more. And in regards to the Bamboo Dragon, unfortunately that's not on console yet. I'm assuming it's gonna be here soon. If it's not here soon, maybe by next event or just soon, then it will probably release with the new content when that comes out, at least. But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching, and I highly appreciate it. I love you all, and I hope you have an amazing day. And bing bong, ping pong, give me your ramen noodles.